Okay, we got some rain to talk about. It's looking even
scary.
maybe a little cloudy out there now.
Yeah, right now, beautiful start to the day. In fact, we've had some beautiful viewer photos come in of the sunrise. I do want to show you this one out of Lakeland. You can see the sun just peeking over the clouds off in the distance. I believe this is looking due east, excuse me. And you can see the clouds off on the east coast. We also have some clouds off on the west coast that are starting to push their way on shore. Those are actually packing some showers and storms. And I'll have an update on that for you here in just a moment. But a beautiful shot here from the USF Marine Science camera out there at St. Pete. The water's packing a little bit more movement than what we saw yesterday, with winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And additionally, our Sky Tower radar showing those thunderstorms locked just off the shoreline here. Those are about 10 miles away, and if they hold together, they could just bring some coastal spot shower chances closer to the late morning time frame. I think mainly 10, 11, 12 o'clock. And then those showers and storms will start to grow a little bit and push farther inland and east of I-75 to close out today. Our latest Futurecast run is in, and I want to show you some of the changes. It's actually adjusted to more of the forecast I was talking about earlier this morning. The spotty shower chances along the coast by 9 to 10 o'clock. Not big coverage, and most of them are north of Sarasota and Venice. Rain showers quickly progressing inland, and that coverage staying put into the early afternoon. Brooksville, Newport Richey, Tampa, St. Pete, all getting in on the action toward later stages of today with about 50 to 60% coverage. And then as we head into the evening time, I do think most of this is going to be pushing inland and off to the east side of the state, and we'll be drying things up along the coastline with just low-end rain chances late tonight into the wee hours of Sunday morning. 1 a.m. for reference here. We should be mostly dry with a lingering stationary front, just bringing hit-or-miss rain chances to portions of Citrus County. Now, the next 5 days will pack interesting rain chances. Notice we drop things off into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Drier air aloft is going to be pushing in, dropping our rain chances down to about 30%. Notice most of the coverage that we see, if any, will be north of I-4 for the most part. Wednesday, we bump up those chances just a tiny bit, and I think by the end of next week, we'll be back to about 40 to 50% coverage. An update out of the tropics as we now have our next named storm. This formed yesterday as Tropical Storm Gordon. Gordon is expected to weaken and then strengthen again, likely from a tropical depression back to a tropical storm. Either way, this is of no consequence to us, as it is about 2,800 miles away from our shoreline, to put things in perspective, and its movement will likely take this eventually due north after a westerly track. That's as an area of high pressure just to its north starts to break down and steer it back to the north as potentially a tropical storm. Either way, long-range model indications show that this is going to likely stay away from land, potentially just as a fish storm, as we like to call it. And that's what we certainly like to see, as this is the 7th named storm of the year thus far. And so far, all 6 have made landfall at some point in their lifespan. So if this disobeys that, it'd be the first to do so this year. And otherwise, we're watching just one other area of disturbed weather off the east coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. Look at all that rainfall north of that disturbance there, bringing that heavy rain to the coastline. I do think if this has a shot to form, it would be within the next 4 to 5 days, and it would push to the north and west away from Florida. A tropical storm or a tropical depression is what most models show, if any, that do develop that. And again, likely not on the strong side of things, as it's trying to just get organized at this stage. And all in all, things are still remaining fairly quiet across the Atlantic, especially as we're only a few days removed from the peak of the season, which was September 10th. Forecast today bringing high temperatures right around 90 to 91 degrees, depending on where you're located. Again, most of that rain after this morning spreading inland and east of I-75. Your marine forecast calling for light chop within our bays and inland waters with 1 to 2 feet, 1 to 2 foot wave heights in our Gulf waters. A Gulf water temperature at 88 degrees being picked up there by Clearwater, as we've slowly bumped up that temperature from 87 that we saw yesterday. Tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures are as warm as 92 degrees. And I think this is going to be as warm as we get over the next 7 days. Your forecast keeping highs right around 91 to 92, depending on where you're located, with rain chances beginning to drop off starting Sunday and staying locked around 30% into the middle of that upcoming work week.